Jamie Carragher believes Arsenal are a club who are crying out for change and should consider appointing Antonio Conte if Arsene Wenger leaves at the end of the season. Wenger has been in charge of the Gunners since 1996 but has failed to deliver the sort of success he achieved early on in his tenure in recent years. The FA Cup has been his saving grace amid calls for the Frenchman to walk away with 3 successes in the past 4 years. Jamie Carragher has urged Arsenal to look at Antonio Conte if Arsene Wenger leaves the club. But a 4-2 defeat to Championship side Nottingham Forest earlier this month means Wenger has lost what previously has been his only recourse. With Arsenal sitting in 6th position in the Premier League and 8 points behind Chelsea in the last Champions League spot, Wenger is tipped to leave Arsenal in May after 22 years at the helm. If that happens, Arsenal will need to find a suitable replacement. Conte is a name that has not been linked, but his current situation is looking increasingly precarious, with the Chelsea hierarchy ambivalent on his future. The Italian boss is growing increasingly frustrated by the structure of the club and has made it public he is unhappy with their transfer policy. It seems unlikely that Conte will be removed from his position, having won the Premier League in his first season in charge and with Chelsea still in both domestic cups, the last 16 of the Champions League, and on course for a top 4 finish. Wenger could follow Alexis Sanchez out of the club by walking away at the end of the season. However, historically, Chelsea are not a gun-shy club when it comes to pulling the trigger on their managers. They have sacked José Mourinho twice, and Carlo Ancelotti shortly after title victories. And former Liverpool defender Carragher believes Arsenal ought to be monitoring Conte's situation closely and should look no further if they find themselves in need of a new boss in the summer. "I can imagine no more suitable replacement for Arsene Wenger than Conte," Carragher wrote in his Telegraph column. Arsenal are in desperate need of Conte's persona. It would be one of the most astute managerial appointments in Premier League history. Conte is looking a frustrated figure at Chelsea, with the board ambivalent on his future. Can you imagine Conte, disillusioned with his treatment at Chelsea, turning up at the Emirates? Arsenal are still stuck in a cycle of mediocrity they have been unable to escape for several years. I will never lose respect for Wenger. His legacy in English football is preserved and he will always be considered one of the all-time greats, but I said last year his time was coming to an end and nothing has changed. Chelsea should be desperately trying to keep Conte, not only because he will bring more success to the club, but to ensure he does not come back to haunt them when he returns with a rival. If the Chelsea board cannot see that, Arsenal should be doing everything in their power to ensure it is a short tube ride to his next destination.